Now, Washington Mornings on the Mall. 105.9 FM. And AM 630. WMAL.
7:37 on WMAL. Neiman and Wilson with you. By the way, Governor Bob McDonnell coming up at 8:06. Cool. It is Super Tuesday in Virginia, one of the 10 states where people will be going to the polls. Also in Ohio, where one Stephen Portnoy from ABC News is this morning. Where exactly are you in the great state of Ohio, Stephen?
The lovely and luxurious town of Steubenville, Ohio.
Steubenville.
I know
the
it well.
hometown, right? Oh, well, the hometown of the crooner Dean Martin.
Oh, is that right?
I didn't know
about that bit of information.
Ain't that a kick in the head?
is that what Dean Martin would say?
I think so.
Well, now, where's the?
When I covered the primaries in the last cycle, I spent a lot of time in Ohio, and I found a good reason to be every night in Zanesville. I like Zanesville.
I stopped there for a cup of coffee yesterday.
Yeah, there's a great bar in Zanesville.
All right, 66 delegates on the line in Ohio. Is it winner take all, or is this proportionate as well?
It's proportional. And a real problem for Rick Santorum here. Back in December, when he was crisscrossing Iowa in a pickup truck, his campaign should have been filing pieces of paper in each of the 16 congressional districts in this state. All he had to do was write down 3 names of 3 supporters who would serve as his convention delegates in Tampa in the fall, and he failed to do it in 9 of the 16 congressional districts. In fact, in this one, in the 6th, this is Steubenville, the small steel town where Santorum holds his party tonight. People here, when they go to the polls, will not be able to choose Santorum delegates because he didn't write down those 3 names here in the 6th congressional district. It means that 18 of the 66 are likely out of reach for Santorum today.
That's unbelievable.
He said something yesterday to the akin of, even if we don't win, we're winning. What exactly did he mean by that?
What he means is, and he says this, and it's difficult to verify the numbers because they've not been fully reported to the SEC yet, or the FEC rather. He says he's being outspent 12-1 here in the state of Ohio alone. And in that dynamic, when you have somebody who's within 3 points, within the margin of error of beating the presumed front runner, that's a win. And he says going forward, once you get past these proportional contests into winner-take-all, like Texas, for example, he says if Santorum can win Texas, he will entirely change the game, to use that trite cliche. It's an opportunity for Rick Santorum to say it's laughable and, in his words, pathetic to say that the math exclusively favors Mitt Romney.
All right, now in the great state of Ohio, I've looked at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 polls that are out there, and then I took a little time, pulled out my calculator this morning, Stephen, and I did some averaging.
Yeah.
And when you average up all the polls, it's a direct tie between Romney and Santorum. Now, on one hand, you'd say, well, Romney's got the bow, and you mentioned another advantage that he has in the state there. But on the other hand, you could say that, social conservatives are the most motivated of the conservative voters, and that might favor Rick Santorum.
It might, Brian. It might. The one thing I would caution is when you look at one poll in particular, the Quinnipiac poll. A week ago this morning, we were waking up to news as we were looking at the voting in Michigan and Arizona that Rick Santorum was up in this state by 7 points. 1 week later, following the Romney wins in Michigan, Arizona, Washington State, Romney's up here by 3 in the same poll. I mean, when you go apples to apples, one poll to the same poll a week away, and you have a 10-point swing in one candidate's favor, that is highly indicative of some serious momentum that suggests that Romney is the candidate who will win overall here in Ohio. Now, we could wind up talking at 7:41 tomorrow morning, and the poll could be completely wrong, and I'll come up with some reason why that happened.
Right.
But for now. But for now, it looks like Mitt Romney's going to win this state. We know, obviously, he's going to win Virginia because unless Ron Paul should shock the world, he's favored in Massachusetts. He's favored in Vermont. Santorum looks to Oklahoma and Tennessee today,
right.
Maybe even Idaho as places where he can scoop up delegates. But overall, on the whole, the political class believes that Mitt Romney's likely to win more delegates than Rick Santorum tonight.
Yeah, in Tennessee, I think Santorum's up by 5 in one poll, 4 in another, but there's this little odd poll that has Romney up by 1. So I think you're right. I think you'll probably pick up Oklahoma and Tennessee, but it could be close. At least in Tennessee.
All right. Is Santorum correct in saying that, hey, there's nothing but TV ads for Mitt Romney on every television station, radio station in Ohio?
No, that's not an accurate assessment. I've been listening to the radio. I was listening to all 3 hours of Rush yesterday on radio stations all across the state. I heard more ads favoring Rick Santorum than opposing him. But that's only on the radio. Radio's a more economical buy.
That's interesting that they advertised on Rush, despite all the boycotts. You heard a lot of political ads for candidates on Rush Limbaugh's show yesterday.
They're not stupid.
I would, right? They're not ones to shy away per se. But I will say that television is more expensive. Santorum has been outspent on TV, and that's been true in all the states so far. And Santorum says, given that fact, he's still been able to make this a close race, when a few months ago he was crisscrossing the state of Iowa in a pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
He says that means he's winning.
All right.
Even if he's not winning.
Hang on, before you go, we got a little something for you. Got it all queued up here, ready to go. Hit this.
Have it quick.
A little Dean Martin for you.
In the head.
There you go, Stephen.
On AM 63.
That's right. Back in the day. All right, Portnoy, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Bye, guys.
ABC Stephen Portnoy live in Ohio today, one of 10 states where we have voting going on today.